Hey guys, Robgillt here, Capetownspares. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about spark plugs and glow plugs and why do we need them? What do we want them in the car for? What do they do? How do they operate? By the way, do you know what the most important thing in your petrol engine car is to keep it running? What would a car not run with? I'll answer that question at the end of the video. So let's get to it, guys. Yeah, so spark plugs, why do we need them? Glow plugs, why do we need them? Well, you know, your car has an ignition system. Now, it's quite simple really. The spark plug effectively sends the spark through down to the combustion chamber, right? Because a petrol engine is an internal combustion engine which requires a spark to ignite the fuel. And the spark plug ignites the fuel at the correct heat and it spreads the spark in the correct way, which is absolutely amazing if you think about it. Who invented this back in the old days and who thought this up when we were still busy working on steam engines, which would have been a great thing in the long run. If we'd gone on steam, we wouldn't have to buy petrol at least. But yeah, that's how it works. I mean, you've got your ignition system feeding through and the little spark plug goes into the chamber and it emits the spark. And when the fuel combusts with the air, it sends a little spark through and it ignites it and it throws the piston back down and you get the whole system, you know, and the whole internal combustion engine thing. But with a diesel, slightly different. You need a glow plug. But now the glow plug doesn't quite do what the spark plug does. What diesel does is it works under extremely high compression and it warms up the air mixture and fuel mixture and it combusts it that way. So it doesn't need a spark. Doesn't need a spark at all. It does this all by itself. What the glow plug is for is at startup, when it's ice cold, you need to warm up the air in the chamber so that you can start it up. Because otherwise you'll be turning the engine for a long period of time trying to get this thing to start up. Okay, so because you've got to warm the air up, it's like friction almost, and it's going to be freezing cold. It's not going to ignite, right? So what you do is you stick a glow plug in there. So when you switch it switches on for a couple of seconds, warms up the area. When the piston turns, ignites the fuel. Perfect scenario. So that's what your glow plug's for. So a glow plug, slightly different to a spark plug. A spark plug with a petrol engine, it creates that spark and it ignites fuel on every stroke or every ignition stroke. Whereas with the diesel, it only warms up the air to start the vehicle, right? But if you didn't have them, you won't start that thing. You're going to really struggle. Well, you might get it started over time, but you'll need a really strong battery. And that brings me to the question we asked in the beginning. What does your petrol car need? What can it not run without? And a lot of you will say the engine and the ignition system and the spark and the cam. But let me tell you something, guys. Without a battery, your car won't run. It really needs that battery. Okay? So that's a trick question, isn't it? So you really, in a petrol car, you need the battery. The battery provides electrics. Without power, the car will not run. So you know, that brings us back to the spark plug. So you're not going to get ignition without battery power or without power being produced in the car. So you'd need a dynamo or something like that. Well, effectively, you know, dynamo, battery, whatever the case, but the engine needs power. Without power, it can't run. And that's why I asked that question, because we're talking about spark plugs today. A diesel, on the other hand, a diesel doesn't need the battery. A diesel can run totally free of a battery. It doesn't need the spark, anything to that effect. It can literally run on its own. So that's the difference between the engines as well. And your petrol engine works on a much lower compression ratio as well in comparison to, say, the diesels. So there you go. Petrol engine needs that battery, it needs that power, it needs that ignition to keep going. Without it, it ain't going to spark. So anyway, don't forget to shop. You're in the shop, go down to the shop. The link is always in the description. I keep it there so that you guys can shop. Make sure that you're shopping in the shop. And on top of which, if it's on Facebook, it'll be on top. If it's on YouTube, it'll be at the bottom. You know, all the different scenarios. If you're on YouTube, go down and kick the like button. Give it a good old smack. Get it going. and like, and then comment. You're always welcome to comment, and you're always welcome to ask questions. And if you don't want to ask questions here, go to the website, go to the shop, ask the questions there. You'll find in the shop I've got a messenger button, I've got a WhatsApp button, I've got a shop chat button, and you can send me an email. So go mad, guys. Do the whole 9 yards. Do me a favor, don't phone me after hours. Not in the mood for that. And the team will always send you a quote somewhere down the line, so leave your email and the team will get the quote together for you, and they'll forward your quote, whatever it might be, if it's just a quotation you're looking for on something or something you can't find that they need to look for. So like, comment, subscribe, like the Facebook page, follow me on Instagram as well. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.